Okay, so just a bit of background, Lewis, on this. Obviously, we consulted was it last year on our First Amendment bill for some employment changes. That's now gone through. So, like you say, from the 1st of April, there will be some changes coming through on our original Employment Amendment Bill, our Act 2024. These include things like a written statement of employment particulars on day one of employment, so time off work for partners to attend antenatal appointments, time off work to attend adoption appointments, time off work to care for dependents, and also some further enhancing around some of the whistleblowing issues around prescribed persons and other areas. So that's all coming in, as like you say, from the 1st of April.
So some incentives there as well for people who are perhaps looking to start a family on the Isle of Man. We'll go into shared parental leave in a moment, but what do you hope these initial enhancements will do for people perhaps looking to settle down here and start a family?
Yeah, look, I think what we recognised from the start of this administration for the Ireland plan was there's a range of legislation. Modernisation was needed across government, and certainly employment legislation was one of those areas, and that obviously as a department that's what we cover off. We recognise it's important that our legislation is modern, it's up to date, it's family friendly, but it's balanced as well for employers. We are competing against other jurisdictions. We recognise the challenges of making sure we're attractive for our young people on the island to stay here, like you say, and work and have families, but also to attract people to come here and work as well. So it's really important that we have up-to-date modern legislation.
What are employers saying about these changes then? You mentioned those consultations. There were 7 consultations all in all regarding these changes. What are employers saying?
Yeah, this second level of consultations has finished. As I say, it's quite detailed, quite a lot of areas. Obviously, they've put their views into this consultation as well. They've had the opportunity of doing that. We do reach out and have those conversations with them. We do it also through likes of the Chamber of Commerce and other areas. So we do have those conversations. We recognise, for example, that as an island, we've got a lot of smaller businesses, a lot of small and medium-sized businesses. What we don't want to be doing is making things onerous and difficult for them. But at the same time, they also recognise that if they want their employees to be motivated and feel valued, and that's important as well, to make sure that their rights and those rights are balanced.
Now, you mentioned that an announcement on shared parental leave will be made later this year. We have had some correspondence already saying this feels like you're sweeping it under the carpet. And January 2023, a Timor committee saying that shared parental leave should be introduced as soon as possible. Why 2 years later is it still no closer, it seems?
Well, it is coming. I think it's made very clear in that area. It will be coming in later this year. This is purely a practical issue. We've got to get some other bits of secondary legislation in place through Timor to be able to bring that in. We're also working in lockstep with Treasury because obviously there's some allowances in that area as well. So what we want to do is make sure we're bringing it all in together properly in a clean way. That's going to take a little bit more time, but it will definitely coming in later on this year.
Definitely, you're saying we won't be this time next year looking at this saying, is this going to come in again? Where are we with it now, Andy? Can I come to you?
Absolutely, yeah. So to reaffirm what the Minister said, we're absolutely committed as a department to bring this forward. It was one of the key planks of our first set of consultations that went through in the bill and now in the Act. So that was to place the enabling provisions in place, which has been done. We were fully intending to bring it in line with the other changes, but given the need to bring forward that allowance element, which is we have to work with Treasury and make sure they have the relevant legislation in place, to ensure it was a fair approach, because we could have introduced the legal ability and a statutory ability to take shared parental leave. And indeed, some employees would have benefited from that because their employer offers benefits already. But you'd have another tranche of people who had a legal right to take the leave, but then didn't have any legal mechanism to have an allowance paid. So we do believe it's important to bring those two things together. So the plan as a department is to bring forward the secondary legislation in either May or June, with a likelihood that will be introduced with effect with the allowance from November. So we're still absolutely committed to making that this year.
Okay, and it's been mentioned that actually the UK has had shared parental leave for around 10 years now. Why is the island so behind? Why are we here where we are now?
Well, I think, again, this is about, I can't comment on what other Tim Rules and administrations have decided to be, bring forward. And certainly from this administration, it was a very important part of what we wanted to do through the Island Plan. And that's what we've got on and done. But as I say, it is a process. I mean, there's been a lot of changes. This is the second amendment bill. Basically, there'll be two bills being brought through in this administration covering a wide range of these areas, a lot of detail. So, we have recognise this from the start of this administration, how important this is, and we have got on and done that. I think it's also worth making the point, of course, though, that all of this is about the ensuring the sort of statutory minimum requirements. A lot of employers already cover a lot of these areas anyway, and also do more. So it's not a case that this is very much making sure that, as I said, the framework's in place going forward, that's better for everybody, recognising that a lot of employers already do more than this.
You mentioned the targets set out in the Island Plan. Obviously, population growth is a big topic within that. When you see statistics come out, such as last year, was it around 35 fewer babies born on the Isle of Man? Does that concern you?
Well, it does, and I think, again, when we set out the plans for the economy and looked ahead, these are the sort of issues that we're facing. We have to recognise that we are seeing a falling birth rate, which is a concern, absolutely. So, again, making sure that the legislation's in place that's family friendly. Some of the other work that's been done through Treasury, for example, for child benefit and for childcare support, it's all really important part of making sure the island's a family friendly place for people on the island, but also, say, for people coming here as well, because we recognise that some of the challenges we all know we have as an island, like a lot of places at the moment, around the costs of, for example, healthcare. If we're not maintaining our working base, our working age population, then we struggle to pay for these vital services. So it's important that we're a diverse sort of open and a place to come and live and work, and that our legislation is modern and up to date.
Thank you for making it to the end of the Manx Radio Newscast. You are obviously someone with exquisite taste. May I politely suggest you might want to subscribe to this and a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider, so our best bits will magically appear on your smartphone. Thank you.